All right, Grand Rising, everybody. We got a full house today. YouTubes have been getting watched, so I know there are people out there. Let's get right into it, taking a deep breath in. While we take these deep breaths, just connecting with that crystalline tube and our energy. Pay attention to how the energy is moving up and down the tube. Pay attention. Is it fast? Is it slow? Is there any color? Is it just white? When a color appears, when you come out of the meditation, check which chakra that is. These are all things that are brought to your attention for a reason from your guides, from your higher self. Call it your subconscious if you want to, if it makes you more comfortable. This is your higher self, your guides, God, ascended masters, everyone in a higher vibration who is on our team to assist us on this journey on earth in these wonderful human bodies that we have chosen. So pay attention. Is it fast? Is it slow? Do you see anyone? I've literally seen Mother Mary on my way down to Earth's core. She stopped me. She hugged me. I cried. She released. I've seen elders, a group of men up in heaven, just having a meeting. I've seen my grandparents. I've seen loved ones that have passed. Don't judge. Release your ego. So let's clear our minds. Let's relax our bodies. And let's release our ego. A deep breath in. I'm going to go up to our records today. Just go up into the sky, into the stars. How do you see? What do you feel? Are you sitting? Are you standing? Are you floating? Now there's a door in front of you. Is it just a door? Is it attached to a building? What does the building look like? What does the door look like? Is the door just floating in heaven? Because that's okay too, up in the stars. Just observe right now. We're standing at this door. Beyond this door is your Akashic records. It is what's known as our soul's library. It's all of our past lives. It's all of our present experiences, and it's all of our future possibilities. You can ask anything here. What does my house look like? What does my future spouse look like? What does my retirement look like? What does my next vacation look like? What does my children's future look like? That one's a little rough. It might give you a little peek. They'll give you a peek of what your role in that looks like. These are your records. So before we enter, if there is something you would like to know, ask now. If you'd like to explore and just see what they show you, then just be in for the treat. Take a few minutes now, just a few seconds. All right. Go ahead and open the door. Do you hear anything? See anything? Just absorb it all. What does it look like inside? Now just look around. If you asked a question, look around and see if you see a book, if you hear a whisper, if someone appears to you. Don't judge it. I'm going to take a few minutes here just to explore. I will be silent. You want to stay here if you're having a nice conversation, please mute me. If not, take a look around again. This space will be familiar to you. If not now, it will be in the future. You can come here on your own whenever you need to ask questions. Don't look for the answer you want. Seek the answer you need. You must release your ego in this space. For those of you that are still with me, let's go out. When you step out, where are you? Are you back in the stars? Did you come out someplace different? Observe. These are the things we note down if you journal. Just observe where you are. There's a mirror coming down. It's being lowered from the heavens. It's dropping down right in front of you. What does the mirror look like? Now look at your reflection. How do you feel when you're standing there looking at it? What is triggering your emotions? Seek to bring peace there, they said. Whatever you are not liking in this reflection right now, it is tied with what you asked, or even if you didn't ask. Focus on that today. Just that. The present. Nothing more. They said, don't worry about the things that you cannot control. Think about what you're putting in your head, your time, your space, your words. Look at this reflection in this mirror often if you need a guide, a nudge on where to go. Since we took that moment of silence in the Akashic records, we're just going to go and take a deep breath here. Deep exhale. Two more on your own as you bring your awareness back to your toes and your fingertips. Take a good stretch if you need it. Open your eyes when you're ready. Please mute me like always if you want to stay in this space. I wasn't planning to go to the records today, but they said a couple people needed that. So whoever needed that, I hope. I mean, we all, it's nice to go into the records, but there were about 3 or 4, they said really specifically that had questions. So I hope, and I had a question too. I didn't get the answer. I got some of it. So like I said, don't judge, just listen, let your ego go. I literally was sitting with my business. I had a guide once in a suit. And I was like, that's so weird. Then he showed up in another meditation that same day. I wasn't leading. I had 2 different meditations I took. And he's like, I'm your business. I'm here to help you with your business. So I just sat with him and I was like, okay, David, where? And he told me his name was David. So I was like, where are you? And we literally just sat there having a conversation up in the records. So when you can release your ego and if you're there, great. Because I have a lot of people that say, I don't see that. It's not about that. Just listen, just calm, release your ego. Don't judge it. Don't be hard on yourself. The answers will come, I promise. So any questions, comments, concerns, please message me, message any of the girls. If you want to talk about it, did anybody else want to share?
Yeah. When I went through the door, it was like it was really busy. Like there were these, they were like little lemming characters, and they were like, they had files in, it was like a wheelbarrow, and they were like, oh, this is so messy. This is so messy. We need to like sort this out. We need to sort this out. And it was like they were like not running around, but it was like, oh, this is so messy. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's how my head feels at the moment.
That is hilarious. It's like they're refiling. They're like, she used to
Yeah.
have this here. Now it's over here. So let's like rearrange all this stuff.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
had a question when I went in, before I went in. I was like, where is my life going? How is my life going to look like, as in to do with work and stuff like that? But what I got is that traveling, you're going to be traveling. And I was like, yay.
Not mad
Thank
about
you.
that, right?
What,
That's
traveling? I would like to be traveling, like as in like, to do with healing work, like going to different countries and stuff.
me
Like
too,
I
girl.
got Egypt. I got Egypt like in the last, I don't know how many meditations, not on this, on my own personal ones. Like Egypt keeps coming up. Don't know why.
Because you're
Something,
going there.
and yeah, and then I haven't been there, and Dana had a bracelet that she showed me, and it had a charm on it, and on the charm was the Eye of Horus, which is Egyptian. I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, another thing about Egypt.
Another
Someone's trying to come through.
yeah. Let her come through. Let it come
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
Yeah. That is awesome. Oh, maybe I'll go with you. That's on my bucket list.
yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I know. Spain, Greece, Italy. I want to go back to Italy.
Oh my
Anybody
gosh.
else? I know if I lived in Europe like you, Caroline, I'd never be home.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you have any suggestions on how to let go of the ego.
So the ego, that's all because if like you want to see something or you want to, your ego is judging what you see, right? So when your higher self, so in that space, that's why we do the crystalline tube in the beginning. So I always tell people when you're starting, just focus on that tube. If that's all you do in the beginning, that's all I could do in the beginning was just, I would start my meditation. And then as soon as I said, I'd be like, okay, it's 5:30, 5:30. Okay, I'll be done at 5:45. That's no, like you're not sitting in that space. So then I go back to what does the tube look like? What do the layers of Mother Earth look like? So Jill, this is something like you can do like either when we get off or like in the mornings on, you know what I mean? That quiet space. That's why I've been trying to take more quiet times during these meditations as well. So if you start thinking like, okay, then just go back to that tube if that's all you do. And then I'd be like, what do the layers of Earth look like? And then it's so funny because on that meditation, when I came out, I actually Googled it because I was like curious, and it gives you the same 3 layers from like third grade science. And I'm like, so you can tell me you've had all these advances up in space. They know they keep finding things, but you go to look at the layers of the Earth and you got the core, literally the same 3 things. So it's fascinating to me that science has not given more information on that, right? So releasing your ego is just focusing that and then not judging. So if you're having a hard time, that's why I've also said, like, when you go into the stars, just sit there. So literally just picture yourself sitting in the stars and don't judge it because it's like, oh, this might be silly, or oh, whatever thoughts that you're having. So the ego really comes release when you stop judging yourself and stop judging what you're seeing. Does that make sense? Is that resonating at all or helping?
It definitely helps. Thank you so much. You ladies are amazing.
And
Yeah, and I
also
love your
don't
picture.
it's also don't doubt yourself as well, because that's what we do. It's like, when Kim said go up into the stars, into the dark sky, and then you're like, oh, but I can't see a dark sky and stars. And it's like, but it doesn't matter, because if you got there and you see a sunny sky, that's fine. Don't doubt it. Just because Kim said it's a dark sky with stars, if your guides have decided you're going up to the sky and it's going to be sunny, then that's what you're supposed to see. Because it's when we start doubting ourselves and it's like, oh, but she told me I should see this. But really and truly, just don't judge what you see, and
Yes.
don't doubt what you see, because
Yes.
whatever you see is right for you, and all of us are different and we are supposed to see different things.
Yeah, that's why I always say pay attention. Is it moving slow? Is it moving fast? What colors do you see? Because I always see a white too, but some people will be like, oh my God, mine was purple today, or mine was blue. So thank you, Caroline, that part too. Yeah, like if I tell you you see a dark sky and you're like, well, mine was sunny, they didn't want you in the dark clouds. They wanted you in for some reason, they wanted you to feel like, you know, sun and vitamin D and all that warmth that comes with that. So
Yeah,
that
as
that
well, it's the door as well. Like, it might not necessarily be a door as in like a door that you walk through, a front door. It could be a gate.
mhm.
It could just be something swinging open. Like, again, that's like, just don't, whatever you see is just right for you. It could
Yeah.
just be just nothing. There could not be no door, you
Yeah,
know?
because that's why I said sometimes mine's just a door, but other people have seen buildings. So that's why I said that too. I was like, is your door attached to anything? Because one of the times when we went into the records and when I did that meditation and I asked people, like, does anybody want to share? Somebody was like, yeah, mine was like, it was like on this huge building. And I was like, fascinating. Cause mine's always just a door floating in the sky. You know what I mean? But yet hers was, and I didn't say anything about a building or anything. That's what she saw. And that's why after the match, she's like, what happens if I saw a building? I was like, nothing. That's awesome. Was the building familiar to you? There was a reason why your guides had your door attached to a building. So yeah, that part too. Whatever I say, that's not what goes either. Let your mind, whatever you see is what you're supposed to see. So that's why we say when you're in that space too, if we're talking too much, just mute us. We don't care. If you're having a great meditation and you're vibing, just mute us. At least you're like sitting in that space with us, right? And then unmute or whatever. We've had people fall asleep and then, it's 7:30 and they're just sitting on the Zoom by themselves. So, just go into whatever space you need to go to. And I really think, Jill, that will help. If anything, you just do the tube and the focus on the breathing. Because that's what it is. Your ego wants to judge what we're saying. We want to see something and we want answers. And then also like like when you exercise, like you like, oh my God, I ate 3 salads and I worked out today, how come I didn't lose 5 pounds? We want quick results. And when we don't get them, it's like, and I feel bad for the millennials because it's not their fault that they grew up in that age where everything came quickly. Like when I grew up, I couldn't just Google a phone number. I had to go through a book. There was white ones for where people lived and yellow ones for businesses. And I had to search for that number. When I wanted to find a friend, I had to look in a phone book, go through their last name and see that there were 12 people that had their parents, usually their dads, same first and last name. You know what I mean? Numbers were usually listed under the father or whoever it was. And that's how you'd find people's numbers. Millennials, everything's come quick, fast. Now, I want it now. I need something now. And then when you don't get it, boom. That's why so many of them are divorced. Marriages, didn't work out. No, quick fix. What's the quick fix? Divorce, on to the next. And it's not their fault. It's like that's where technology boomed. And that's how you guys grew up. And that's how, it's different things. Like, and it's so funny because like you hear back in my day. And then I think about my grandma hand washing clothes. I would die. Thank you for washing machines because no. Do you know what I mean? And you think about these millennials thinking like, oh my God, you had to go to payphone and put a quarter in? Yeah, bitch. And when the time ran out and you didn't have another fucking dime or quarter, you better start talking fast. Let your dad know where you're at because he's got to come get you. I mean, it's things like that too. So that's why this meditation, you know what I mean? Instant gratification. Yeah. And everybody has it. But for the millennials, I feel like from what I've seen, it's harder for them because they grew up in that age where boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? It was right there. My kids, again, I'm not scared. But my poor kids who are 5 or 6, those poor souls aren't going to know what's real and what's not. AI is putting out so much fake shit. Kid really thinks that a monkey is on a fish's body because he's seeing it. Oh my God, did you see this gorilla? That's a fish. No, baby, that's fake. That's not real. They're seeing images that aren't even fucking real. People are taking their business shots now with AI. Do you know how many photographers are going to go out of business? Oh, we don't need you. I can download a $12 app, get a whole portfolio of business shots. I don't need you to take my headshots. So many, like, and again, that's why I said, but you can't be scared of it. It's rolling, guys. Technology, Earth, humans. And here's a secret that many of you might not know. We've blown up Earth before. Humans, this is not our first rodeo. We have not known what to do with technology. That's why when we think of aliens and they're traveling through time things and we're like, oh my God, how do they do that? It's been being done. We're the only idiots. We're the dumb ones. We're smart and we're brave because we're the only souls that come down here, but we're the dumb ones because once we come into these bodies, literally like Men in Black, zoop, zapped, everything, zoop, we don't remember shit, nothing. We are forced to remember it down here. We are forced to awake, have our awakenings, having our aha moments. Most of us stay asleep. That's why we keep reincarnating. That's why we keep coming down to this shit show. But technology has always been our demise for humans. Always. That's what I've seen anyway, what I've been told. This is not our first rodeo either. Earth has been around. Humans have been around. This 2023, however, this is just this time. It's happened before. So don't fear. No fear. That's why I said, that's why I live my life with no fear. I got another one coming. I got a couple more thousand coming. Don't worry about it. When people say yellow, I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't yellow. Sorry, I hate to burst your bubble, but you don't. You know what I mean? So I think that's what helps me release a lot of my fears. I'm like, what's the bigger picture? It's not 401k. It's not, it's not what us humans think. So when you can release that too, oh, such a place to be,
exactly. And then also going back to the meditation as well, if you see nothing, and this is why we do guided ones, because sometimes it helps people at the beginning that, we verbally give you those visuals so that it helps you, so that then it like helps your mind then imagine these things. So if you see nothing as well, that's okay, because when you first start doing meditation, sometimes you're not a visual person and you can't see those visuals, but do you know what? You can feel how you feel. And then that's why coming on it each day and then listening to a voice, maybe being guided to see those visuals, and then you start seeing your own visuals.
Yeah.
So again, like if you don't see anything, please don't think there's something wrong with you, or I'm doing the meditation wrong. Or sometimes you might not have concentration as well. Sometimes your mind might wander off and to somewhere completely different as well, and that's okay as well.
Yeah, and that's when the tube helps, or let your mind go unless you're thinking bad thoughts. Unless your fear is coming in, and you know what I mean by that. Then you're like, oh no, this is a good space. So, and then even after all that too, you still have human. Like I said, on Saturday, I went to a whole tangent thinking about these people that I don't like because they're bullies, put my son on a different soccer team when that wasn't the story at all. I'm still cracking up about that on Saturday, guys, because even when you've had all this growth, that's my soul telling me that that little girl inside of me still has a lot of hurt feelings and likes to get all up in her butt space about it. You know what I mean? So I made myself all butt hurt over nothing. So these meditations are good. You get out of your head, you step into your higher self space instead of your ego space, but your ego is always going to be there. You just tuck her in your pocket. Don't let her run the show. So
Thank you,
Oh,
thank you, thank you. You guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate you.
yeah, I hope that helped. And I love your picture. I've been meaning to say it for like weeks. Your
Oh,
picture is
thank
amazing.
you.
I'm like,
That
oh,
was a trip to Montana.
I lived in
I
Montana.
was, did you? I was
7
thanking
years.
my horse that I rode for like 8 hours that day, and my cousin snapped that picture.
oh
Oh
my
my God.
gosh.
Yeah, that was like a major moment right there.
Oh my God, that brought tears to my eyes. You were thanking the
Oh,
horse.
I was, and I'm so
Oh,
glad it was captured because I love to look at it and just think of how amazing that day was. And just
it's
that
Oh my
horse's soul
God.
and how she took the best care of me because I was
Oh.
overcoming a lot of fears that day,
that
that
is
week, I should say. But oh, yeah, it's definitely heartwarming to me.
yeah, that's a badass picture. I'm like, oh my God, I love it.
Thank
Oh, now the
you.
story behind
Thank
it is
you.
even more. I thought it was your horse, but you were showing gratitude. No wonder I fucking love it.
Yes, yes. Well, that's not my horse, but I do have horses.
I know, but that's what I was saying. Like, I thought it would, but the fact that you were like just showing gratitude to that horse, like, oh my God, that's even more amazing. I could definitely see the love because yeah, that's an amazing picture.
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, ladies, so much. You are such an inspiration, and I feel so blessed that you came into my life.
Oh, I know you guys are an inspiration. I just shared my story 2 years ago that I was fighting for these mornings. I had been doing it on my own. Once my intuition popped and I started hearing all the things, and then I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm psychic now. I don't need this. You know what I mean? I was finding it really hard to get back into my meditations. And if it wasn't for this group, I wouldn't be motivated. So thank you for the inspiration. I extend that back to you because truly it has saved my life and brought me back. And we've been consistent for over a year only because it's been a group, period.
Wow.
So thank you.
Such an amazing thing. Such an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Feel
This
so
is,
blessed.
I know. I love this meditation group. I just love it so much. So it's like one of
Thank
the
you all
biggest
for your
stars in my
input
whole life.
too.
Yeah. So thank you guys. It truly brings me life every morning. I love it. So have an incredible day, guys. Any questions,
Blessings.
comments, concerns, reach out and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you mañana. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.